Hello and welcome to today's Brand Breakthrough Show. We are getting down and dirty on how do you brand your products and services in today's show. So if you've got any questions, or maybe you're branding a product or you've got a service in mind, or maybe you've got a little idea and you're thinking, how do I actually brand that? Now's the time for you to bring your questions to this live interactive session. It is the perfect opportunity for you to have your question directly answered by me while we are here. So one of the things that I want to really highlight when you're bringing together an idea, when you're really thinking about how you're going to expand that idea, how you're going to brand the idea, how you're going to get out there and really make a difference to the people whose lives can be positively impacted by this incredible super juice that you have flowing between your ears. And one of the first things is to really think about who is the ideal client. And I know that seems like it's really obvious, but you've got to go further than it's a woman in her 50s. You've got to absolutely get a PhD in that woman's problems or that man's problems, whatever it is that they're going through right now. It's not enough to just come up with a solution. If you're going to brand it and you're going to convert strangers into friends and friends into lifetime customers, and this might be the first product that you want them to buy into. And when you think of your lifetime order value escalator, which you can download if you go to the Brand Builders Club website in the resources tab, for those of you that are in the Brand Builders Club, you can download we call it the love escalator, the lifetime order value escalator. So you can look at all of your products in a sequence and say, okay, so here's where they're starting, here's where we'd really like them to be, and here's what we're going to brand and create as the upserve or downserve, or it could even be a cross serve. We'll talk about those another time. But I mean, we've actually done brand breakthrough shows on the lifetime order value escalator before. But the key thing is like once you really get into exactly what that client is going through, and it goes beyond the obvious, who is it? It actually what you've got to do is get into what language is it that they're using with themselves. What language is your ideal customer getting up and using with themselves when they wake up first thing in the morning, or when they've been stewing on it all night, or when it's kept them awake and they can't sleep because this thing is bugging them. This thing is hurting them. It's a pain that they have. So when it comes to branding your product, the very first thing I would do is think about doing that, because then you can create the name for that product. I had a lady at one of the Thinkubators last night. We launched the Thinkubators in Bristol last night. We're now in Cardiff. We're coming to you live from Cardiff. We're going to be launching the Thinkubators in Cardiff very soon. Hi Jay, yes, I can't wait to see you on Friday. And so there I am, and this lady, she's there, and she's come up with this great name for this product that she's going to promote, but it had her name in it. And I said, okay, so tell me about this product, tell me about this idea. Is it always going to be you that's selling this, or will somebody else be selling this on your behalf? And she said, well, no, actually, I can see there's going to be a lot of people selling this on my behalf. And I said, well, the problem is the product's got your name in it. And that's not going to work for the particular product that you're really promoting. Give you another example. A business owner that I met, I think they were at the London Thinkubator or the Manchester one a few weeks ago, and they've come up with this idea for a product and they wanted to name it something really random. But I said, it's pointless you calling it something random, because you have already categorically said that you do not want to drive SEO or Facebook advertising. You don't want to drive any advertising to this. You want this to be a word of mouth strategy. You want other people to be sharing this idea. This is a movement that you're creating, and you're going to sell products as a result of building a movement around it. And he said, yeah, but I want something that is like Libra or Nike or just something random. And I said, the challenge you've got with that is that if you were going to drive direct traffic to it, then it would be no problem. You can call it what you like, because you can drive as many people as you want to it. But if it's something that you want people to use in their everyday language, if you sell a product or a service that you can imagine two people down the pub or in a restaurant or in a coffee shop, and one of them is expressing this pain that they're in, and you know that you can serve them, you know that you can answer this pain, you've got the most perfect solution for it, But because it's called something random, this person, hi Tia, this person that is not there to sell your products and services, they're now having to try and explain what you do, and I mean, it's just messy. But if, for example, Jason Vale, the Juice Master, very easy. He's got a fame name. It's very easy to be able to talk about that. Regetta, hello, darling. Because, it's like somebody saying, I want to lose weight or I want to detox. Oh my God, well, you need to talk to the Juice Master. It automatically solves the problem. The name, the fame name of the person already talks about solving the problem. So you can imagine that any products and services under that fame name are going to solve that problem. So if you don't have a fame name, I want to urge you to really think about what your fame name is in the whole scheme of all of the products that you provide, because it's got to be easier to introduce you. It has to be easier to talk about you. Someone was talking to me the other day about, but Tony Robbins is this amazing brand. Tony Robbins is an amazing brand, and look at how many years and how many millions of pounds, dollars and euros that guy has had to invest in getting his name out there in the biggest way because he doesn't have a fame name. I mean, he's one of the gurus on the planet, and not everybody knows who he is. I was talking to somebody, and I was talking about Tony Robbins, and they're like, who's Tony Robbins? Who is this Tony Robbins? And I'm making a huge assumption that just because they're in the same kind of, personal development type industry that I'm in, the business growth industry, that they actually know who the guy is. They say, so who's Tony Robbins? So now I find myself having to try and explain who Tony Robbins is. I'm like, Tony, get a freaking fame name. It's known for too many things. And the problem with being known for too many things is that you're not memorable, and if it's not memorable, then it can't be repeatable. So we need to make you as repeatable as possible, so that you're not having to share your message constantly, that other people can do that easily for you. And that same process for creating a product. What's the fame name of the product? How can you create a name for the product that just ignites every single person that hears it, that has that problem, that you can just sell it without you having to sell it? It just sells itself. We were looking at network marketing companies. I think it was the week before last. I've had so many conversations with so many people. We were looking at network marketing companies, and someone was saying, but if you look at healthy living oils versus doTERRA, for example, and I said, if you think about it, who has the biggest market share? I love doTERRA oils, but healthy living has a bigger market share. Why? Because it has the name, it has the conversation in the name of the product. doTERRA, what does that actually mean? You've got to work 5 times as hard to explain what is the difference between doTERRA and Young Living oils, I think it is actually. So Young Living oils, Young Living, the name, it just suggests what it's going to do for you. doTERRA doesn't suggest anything about what it's going to do for you. Hi, Livna. So, why push a wheelbarrow full of rocks uphill? I mean, yes, call it what you like. And if you've got millions of marketing dollars, or at least a few thousand marketing dollars to start getting your name out there, then, do what you like with that. But when it comes to branding your products and your services, I just believe that the fastest, easiest, most effective way to have people get your brand out there and talk about it is by calling it something that is suggestive of the solution that it provides. That way you can buy the domain name. You can secure all of those things. So here's a resource, if I haven't told you about this resource. In fact, Livna, you've probably heard me talk about this before. For those of you that are fairly new in the community, if you go to a website called NameCheck, which is NAME, like what's your name? So name and then CHK. So name CHK. What you can do is you can type in the name that you're thinking of calling your product, and it will show you every social network and every domain that's available. It will show you, whether WordPress is available for that name. It's got something like, 100 different networks on there. So it will save you having to go into Twitter and type that name in. Okay, it's available. Then go into Facebook. Is that name available, right? And it will just come up, the whole thing, within seconds. It's already searched every single social platform, every single domain platform, and it will tell you exactly what's available. And if it's not available, then you can start playing with other options. And I think it even gives you some suggestions as well of what is available. So it's a really good way of you not wasting time thinking of the product name. So if you go to, for those of you in the Brand Builders Club, if you go to the resources drop down on the Brand Builders website, you'll find the fame name creator. I think, I mean, it's the same process, creating the business name, the fame name, a product name. So it's called something like that when you go onto the website. For those of you that aren't in the Brand Builders Club, if you go to the www.howtobuildabrand.org website, you will also find the same activity, but just a little bit different. It's a bit more inclusive when you get onto the Brand Builders Club website. Naturally, because we do things at a higher level in Brand Builders. So, but you can still get access to it, and you can still go through the main kind of pieces of that. And what that'll do is it will help you to create the name of your product. It will help you to start getting clear around that. Hi, Kerry. And then you'll be able to, Mary, hello. And then you'll be able to start really, getting these products and services out there without you having to push and strive and jive and pushing and shoving, and it's hard work, isn't it? If you've got something that's a challenge to get out there. There's another way that you can also check whether the name is going to work. And this is something that I use all the time. It's free. We like free. How many of you like free? Like, I love free stuff, and especially if I can do all of my checks and I can find all of the resources and things that I need. Right? Give me a thumbs up if that's you. So if you go to Google Trends, just go onto Google, type in Google Trends, and you'll get. You probably got to sign up, and you might have to pay $1 or something to start off a campaign, but that's nothing really for what you're going to get from it. And you can go in and you can type in whatever the key search term is that you think that your ideal clients are looking for to find that product or that service. And the beauty of that is that you can go back, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years, whenever it was first created. You can go right the way back to that point and see what is the trend. Is there a growing trend? Is there a demand for that particular keyword? Are there more people searching for it in January than October or November? You might be about to launch something, and then you find out that actually the biggest searches for that are 3 months away. So you could launch it now and it could be a little bit flat, or you could launch it in 3 months and have one hell of a major launch campaign up to it and have an incredible result, right? So it's about how you, take what you've already got as a gift, but making sure that it is working for you and that you're really getting the rewards in return for your hard work. Mary, it's so good to see you. I hope that you can come to the Thinkubator next week. Hi, Kevin. Actually, that's in a couple of weeks. Kevin, it's great to see you. Kevin, make sure if you haven't yet, go into the Brand Builders Club Facebook group and look at the sprint that I've been doing this week, which is all about how to get past the corporate gatekeeper. I think it will help you. We're doing some corporate stuff in there to help those of you that are working with the corporate businesses as well as entrepreneurs. So it's so nice to see you, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in Manchester as well at the end of November. So it really is powerful for you to just get really super clear. It's all in the name. The success is all in the name of the product. And of course, when it actually comes to branding it, creating something that's a bit different, that's a bit unusual, that's more bespoke, can really have can really have a massive impact. So for example, I don't know, maybe you have bought something and it's had the most amazing packaging, and you can call it to mind right now. I mean, what brand is it that you absolutely love because of the way that they position their products? So there's a candle that I absolutely love. It's made by Rituals, and Rituals do like all the lovely smelly stuff and things. But there's a particular candle that I really love. It's called Happy Buddha. Out of the whole range, it's Happy Buddha, and it comes in this box, and it's like origami. It's wonderful. It's magical. I feel magical when I open it, right? So it's just like a normal cardboard box, like just a normal candle sort of shaped cardboard box. But over the top of it, it has, yeah, me too, Luna. It just, like, when you take off the top, it just all unfolds, and you fold it out. I'll take some pictures of it when I get home, because I keep them. I just love them so much. And it unfolds, it's like this origami piece, and they've really used the inside of it. So it talks about the ritual. It talks about how you can use the ritual, how you can really, get involved in their brand as such without being an investor in their brand. And it's really interesting how they're using their packaging. So how are you then packaging that product? Because that's also important in the branding element. You know, your brand is what other people say it is when you're not there, but your branding, that's the lasting visual impact. That's the god or goddess of first, last and lasting impressions. And you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So if you can really think about, okay, packaging wise, how can we create something that's different and unique? And if it's something that's physical as opposed to creating something that's digital, then, you know, really think about how can you create something that's sustainable, maybe does something for the planet, gives back, something you can plant, you know, just does something a little bit different. So, for example, with our one drop necklaces, our one drop pendants, we're launching them at the Vision, Voice and Visibility Summit in December. I'm so excited. It's a family business. My mum is making these one drops right now as we speak. We've got 1,000 of them that we're making. And we're just now investing in the packaging. So we've invested in all of the materials that we've needed to create these 1,000 one drops. You know, we've got all kinds of things that we've had to do to get the project to the point where we can actually really, you know, start selling them. You know, even down to the chains and things like that, higher string. But where it comes to the packaging, we really want packaging, and have found and sourced packaging that has seeds already within the fibres of the cardboard. So once you take your one drop out and you put your one drop on, you can plant the packaging. So that then grows. You then have a tree. So it's giving back to the environment, and trees are really the lifeblood. We haven't, you know, we're losing so many trees. We need to start planting trees as much as we possibly can. So, you know, it's an opportunity to then plant a tree in your garden, and then now you're growing something as well, and you're doing something for the environment, and then a percentage of our profits is going into sustainable ideas we're funding. And so there's a whole concept around the one drop movement that, you know, we've really had to think about the packaging, because the packaging is as much of the experience as the actual pendant is. Hi, Jack. So, you know, when it comes to you know, creating the branding for your products, then, you know, just have that little bit more thought. Step into the future of, you know, what do you want this packaging to do? When you brand it, if there's a physical element, like I was just talking about, how are you going to create something that once they've had the use of the actual thing that you're selling, what can they then do with that packaging afterwards? Thank you, Mary. Hi, Andy. You know, so think about that. You know, it's like with business cards. I think when you get a business card created, don't just get a business card that's just flat and that's only printed on one side. I mean, it's your mini-me. The business card is going to get handed around. You never know where that's going to land or whose hand it's going to land in. So, you know, have some thought about, okay, once I've given my business card over to someone, what do I want them to do with it? How could they be using it in a different way? What else could they be doing? And so I really believe in creating things that have a much longer life. You know, I created some business cards many years ago. Actually, they had seeds in, so they had the bullet points. We used the seeds as bullet points instead of you know, just printing them on. So they could actually, again, they could plant the card once they'd taken their picture of it and scanned it into wherever it's going. They could then plant it, and it could become something. You know, that just think a little bit more, think a bit different, because, you know, everyone's doing the same thing these days. Everyone's doing online stuff. You know, and I'm one of those people doing a load of online stuff. But how can we, you know, people are starting to crave the physical things again. Hi, Tracy. They're starting to crave the physical things, you know, even down to you know, with Brand Builders Club now, whenever we deliver our Thinkubators, we've now started printing our 7-Step Brand Kickstarter book, the How to Create £6,000 a month of extra income through challenges, how to create your mini courses. You know, we've got a couple of different plans, journeys in there for our brand builders who want to make 10 grand a month and they want to do it pretty quickly. You know, we've got all these journeys that we put in place, you know, and all of it's digital, but we said, well, how can we, you know, print some of that out and actually create a little pack? And so that's what we've done. Neil, hello, darling. So we've now created a pack from that. You know, and our brand builders are the first to get them, and so they're now walking away with these packs, and they're like, wow, you know, and they can scribble on them, and it just makes such a difference. Instead of expecting the client to print them off themselves, just having that physical pack, it just, you know, it doesn't cost you that much to create that extra physical experience. And when it comes to branding that product and that solution, you know, it's all very well creating nice graphics that make it look like, hi Vicky, make it look like it's, you know, this amazing, you know, digital concept, and you've got all the branding on the CDs and stuff. But, you know, people actually pay a lot more. They'll invest a lot more for the physical version. When I created the the Entrepreneur's Essential Brand Building Kit a couple of years ago. We sold that for £197 online. People that wanted it physically, that wanted the workbook as well. Hi Saz. They wanted the workbook as well, and so all we did was print out all the things that, you know, I had. Each of the activities had a Word document activity with it, which obviously we copied and pasted, and that was part of the digital experience. But then I took all of those Word documents, which were actually only transcriptions of the videos that I then edited into workbooks, and I created one big workbook. And so there were 30 step-by-step video instructions, and each one, instead of it having, you know, a worksheet with every single one, I just turned it into one complete workbook. So that one complete workbook, plus we bought the plastic packaging with a memory stick, so we put it on a memory stick. So then you got the workbook, memory stick in like a DVD type size case with the branding on it. Put that into a gold envelope with a sticker, and suddenly it's worth £100 more. And it doesn't cost you £100 more to actually create that. So, you know, what are you creating digitally that you could be branding as a product that could also be served and sold outside of the digital world, you know, where people do really want to pay more for physical stuff. I remember when I very first bought Simon Colson's Internet Business School course. I was at the National Achievers Congress. Gosh, this must have been about 2011, and I'm sat there in an audience of like 8,000 people. All these people have got up and they've done their pitch, and Simon gets up and he's talking about Internet Business School, and I'm thinking, yeah, it'd be pretty cool to go on that for 3 days. I'd really enjoy that. You know, and then and I'm kind of teetering on the edge, and then he says, and for the first, you know, 30 people that sign up now, you're going to get this bag with the recording of all one of our last days, so actually you don't even have to wait until you come to the event in 3 months from now. You can take this away and you can start implementing immediately. Well, in my mind it was like, great, my business partner, he'll see that I've got something physical. I've now got, you know, it's not just an online thing, or it's not just a thing that's happening in the future. Now I'm actually giving them something and leaving them something that that is valuable, you know, from his point of view. And I'm like, yeah, now you're giving me something that's valuable. So I part with £1,200 there and then, you know, or whatever it was that it cost for that. So, you know, having that physical element is a really powerful thing, and it also works the opposite way. If you're selling something that's digital and you want to brand it as a digital product, you know, giving them or if you're selling the physical product, then what I would always suggest you do, if you haven't thought about doing this, Corinne, hello, is to consider that as soon as they've or as part of the solution, as part of the branding of it, you say, you know, for those of you that are ready to take action now, you're also going to receive the full digital suite of all of this stuff, so that you don't have to wait for it to arrive on your doorstep for you to get started. You can get started in the next 5 minutes within signing up to it. So, you know, it's really interesting, isn't it, when you start thinking about online, offline, and actually how you can have both, and how, you know, if you think all these years ago, I was talking to June Hampton and her husband last night about this actually, and he was saying about, you know, the digital marketing side of things. I said, you know, I think that things are coming back around, and, you know, they go through phases, don't they? If you think about how we used to have direct mail because there wasn't a thing as such as email, so bulky mail, you'd receive things through the post all the time. And then email comes along, so nobody wanted to spend money on bulky mail when they could just send an email and get a result. So then they're sending emails out to everybody, then people get fed up with emails, so then we start receiving bulky mail again. It goes through this whole transition. Well, I actually think that, you know, if you really think about, and we've covered this on certain, hi Caroline, we've covered this on other Brand Breakthrough shows before, if you think about how we have pre-active, proactive and reactive customers, you know, catching them in the way that they also receive information is a really valuable thing. So you'll already know that you've got people who are visual, you've got people who, they're auditory, they want to hear something, they want to listen to it, they don't want to watch it, they don't want to read it. You've got other people that want to read it. You've got other people that want to listen to it and make notes on a physical thing at the same time. You know, are you, in the branding of your products and services, are you really, really stepping into your customer's shoes and saying, do you know what, actually, I haven't thought about this in the way that I could be, and you're right. I'm providing it all via video, and actually I think people would love to have the written copy as well. So yeah, all I've got to do is get them transcribed. You know, it's usually only one little thing, one little micro action that you need to take that will make the difference. You know, taking your videos and exporting the sound file from them, as well as just exporting the video itself, the MP4. You know, if you get that sound file as well, you've now got podcasts, you've now got an audio program. Now all of a sudden your one product has now become so much value in multiple ways. It's like the multiplication effect of creating one thing and turning it into other things, and giving your clients the option. You know, if you're selling something and it's just a physical or a visual thing, but actually they are somebody, they just want bullet points, just tell them as it is, tell me what I need to do and I'll just go do it. You know, if you're giving your ideal clients the option of all of those, now the bundle becomes so much more valuable. So instead of charging £47, dollars or euros, now you're charging £147, dollars or euros, because you're giving it exactly in the way that they need it. And that makes a huge difference where it comes to branding your products and services. Paulina, hello gorgeous. Mary, let's see what you've written here. Gets me thinking what tender loving care I can physically add to my online burnout program. Got you thinking again. I'm glad about that. I like it when we get the old grey matter thinking. You know, and Mary, bring that to the next incubator. That would be great. You know, we can really work on that. In fact, Lubna, maybe you could post the date for the next incubator that's coming up in the Netherlands. We're going to be in London tomorrow, so for those of you that are in the London area, come down and play. We're going to be in London, Kensington at the Tara Copthorne Hotel. Registration is 6 p.m. and then we launch the training at 6:30. We go through till 9:30 p.m. So we do an hour of training and then 2 hours of masterminding. And these incubators are running all over the world, and they could be coming to a city near you very, very soon. So tell us, where are you? Where in the world are you? Where do you want us to be running these incubators so that we can meet you where you're at and bring local entrepreneurs and business owners together for the purpose of co-creation, collaboration, and supporting each other to really be that brand that you want to see in the world. So it will be lovely. And hi Caroline, I think I might have said hello to you already. So I'm going to wrap up there because I'm at a special dinner in Cardiff this evening, and so I can see that people are starting to arrive now. Yeah, so Yoka has she's introduced me to some key influencers in Cardiff. And isn't it funny, like you come back to your roots? My nan was from Cardiff originally, so I guess I'm a quarter Welsh. It's the first time I've ever been to Cardiff, so I'm very excited. Yes, thank you, Lubna. Next incubators in the Netherlands are the 18th and 19th of November. Fabulous. Right, well, I'm going to love you and leave you. We've done our deep dive on how to brand your products and services, and I think that you know, if you want support, if you want that next level of thinking, get yourself to a Thinkubator if you can. Also, we have our online version of the Members Day, which is coming up this Sunday. So, you know, for brand builders, make sure you go and register on that, because we're looking at how you can bring in an extra £180,000, dollars or euros a year on creating a membership or subscription program. So we focus this quarter, and this is the last event that we're running around the world that will focus on that topic. So if you've got an idea for a product or a service that you actually think would work really well as a program, let's mastermind that at the online Members Day on Sunday, and then you can start branding it and start using all the things that we've talked about in today's video to get you to that next level. Mary, I'm planning on going. Have a wonderful evening. Fabulous. All right then, my darlings, well, take care. I will see you this time next week for the Brand Breakthrough Show. If there's a topic that you want me to cover, please let me know, and I'll dive deep on that just for you. Take care, and I will see you in the group. Mwah.